The Steam Machine seems like a great idea. It's a PC, but it's built for the living room with the simplicity of a console. So what went wrong? Why does this machine get so much hate online? And yet, why do so many other people still want to buy one? Before you waste your money, let me show you why this might be one of the worst values in PC gaming. All right, look, before we get started, I want to make it abundantly clear that I like the idea of the Steam Machine. In fact, I even made a video talking about that some time back. Nobody saw the video, so I don't blame you if you're not aware that I made it. But with that being said, I do like the idea of the Steam Machine. After all, it's a super tiny box that gives you PC gaming in a console form factor with all the convenience of a console in your living room. That is a phenomenal idea. Don't get me started on the light bar as well, because not only is it a little bit of RGB customization, but it's also a status indicator letting you know the progress of your game installs and your updates and things of that nature. That's awesome. And of course, everybody is ranting and raving about the HDMI CEC compliance that the Steam Machine has. And if I'm going to be honest, I think people are making that a much bigger deal than what it actually is. But to be fair, it is a benefit and a selling point of the Steam Machine. So like I said, I do love the idea of the Steam Machine. It's not like I'm completely against it or anything like that. However, I do have a bunch of problems here. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but I do have to mention it as part of the video. Obviously, the Valve Steam Machine is starting off at $1,049. You get a measly 512 gigabyte solution for your storage, and it does not come with a controller. If you want more storage, if you want a controller, it's going to be even more money than that. Now, in a vacuum, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, as I'm no stranger to PC components being very expensive, as I primarily cover GPU content. However, when you start looking at the performance of the Valve Steam Machine, you cannot deny that it is a terrible value proposition. It is not a bad value proposition. It's not a mediocre value proposition. It is straight up a terrible value proposition. And in my opinion, Valve should have delayed the Steam Machine indefinitely, or straight up canceled it, or they should have found a way to subsidize the cost of it so that you wouldn't be ripped off whenever you buy one of these. And I know that's harsh language, especially going towards a company that most people view as pro gamer, pro consumer, and everything like that. But at the end of the day, we got to call a spade a spade. And the Valve Steam Machine is woefully underpowered. Initially, Valve was marketing this box as being a 4K 60 FPS experience with FSR enabled. This machine fails so hard to live up to that Valve went back and retroactively stripped off that part of the marketing, and now it simply just says a 4K box. It no longer says 4K 60 with upscaling or with FSR upscaling. And if we take a look at the benchmarks provided by Gamers Nexus, you can see they tested the Steam Machine at 1080p, not 4K, not 1440p, but 1080p. And even at 1080p, here are some of the benchmark results. Black Myth Wukong came in at 43.9 FPS on average. And in Starfield, the Steam Machine came in at 41 FPS on average. In Oblivion Remastered, the Steam Machine came in at 27 FPS on average. And again, this is all at 1080p. And of course, there are some titles that perform a little bit better than that. Looking at Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, it came in at 50 FPS on average. Meanwhile, Resident Evil 4, 94 FPS on average, but Resident Evil 4 is known to be a very optimized game. Now again, I really do like the idea of the Steam Machine, and I appreciate what it is trying to do, be a PC gaming box in the living room with the convenience of a console. I love that idea, I really do. But at the end of the day, it is simply too expensive for the performance you're getting. 4K TVs are a dime a dozen these days. The average American household has at least one 4K TV. And I think it's a fair assumption to say that TV is probably the TV in the living room. And so if the Steam Machine is struggling this bad at 1080p, how much worse is it gonna be whenever it's connected to a 4K TV and it's trying to upscale the image to match the TV's display? I know it's not the best reference in the world, but I don't actually have the Steam Machine myself, so I have to reference other creators. So while taking a look at Linus Tech Tips, you can see he actually tested the Steam Machine at 4K with frame generation set to off, but FSR is enabled, set to performance, which by the way, other than ultra performance, that's about as low as you can get. And even here in most of the games, it doesn't hit 60 FPS on average. Now there is one notable exception of Shadow of the Tomb Raider here, but that's one exception. When you look at Forza Horizon 6, it averages only 50 FPS. When you look at Doom: The Dark Ages, it averages 42 FPS. Cyberpunk 2077, 41 FPS. Now the presets here are all over the place, and I wish they would have made this a little more consistent across the board, but the fact still remains, this is definitely not a 4K 60 box, not even with FSR enabled. And to top it all off, if you go look at Digital Foundry, they actually compared the Steam Machine to the PlayStation 5. Not even the PlayStation 5 Pro, just the PlayStation 5. And as you can see, the Steam Machine struggles to match the PlayStation 5. Obviously, the PlayStation 5 Pro is even faster than the base model PS5. So yeah, the Steam Machine simply does not compare. In my opinion, my recommendation is very simple. If you want to play games in your living room, buy a traditional console like the PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 5 Pro, or even the Xbox Series X, because they're all cheaper than the Steam Machine and will outperform the Steam Machine, or build your own PC for about the same price for the living room. And yes, that PC will outperform the Steam Machine, and you can even make it small form factor if you want. No, you can't make it as small as the Steam Machine. No matter what you build, it will be bigger than the Steam Machine, which I've seen people complain about the size of these ATX towers, which, to be fair, I agree. I wouldn't want an ATX tower in my living room personally. I don't mind having one here on my desk in my dedicated office gaming area, but in my living room, I wouldn't want just a traditional ATX tower. But it's disingenuous to suggest that that's the only option on the table. You can definitely go buy a small form factor chassis and build your PC in that. Personally, I'm currently using the Fractal Terra, and I'm even looking into the NZXT H2 Flow case, and I'm possibly going to build a PC in that because I do like how it has that Series X design. I just like how it stands up. With that being said, yes, no matter what you build for the living room, it will be bigger than a Steam Machine, but not by a big margin. The point is, there are better alternatives out there. And in addition to that, if you don't want to deal with Windows, Valve did release the official Steam OS to the public for free. So you can literally go download the exact same operating system that's on the Steam Machine and use it on your DIY box at the house. Now, the Steam Machine itself wouldn't be so bad if it was a $500 box. You can have this performance at $500 and say, okay, okay, fine. We can take that. That's acceptable. That's fine. Furthermore, if this machine was this price, but it was like double the performance, that would also be okay. But it's not. I just think it's a bad offering. Now, I'm mostly not saying anything you probably haven't already heard on the internet, but the main reason why I'm making this video is because I really don't want people to support the Valve Steam Machine at this price. And the reason why is because, frankly, I just don't feel like Valve deserves it. I understand we're in the AI bubble, data centers are ruining everything, and we're in a RAM crisis, a storage crisis. I get all that. But Valve still chose to release the machine, and they also chose not to subsidize it and not to try to help you out in any way, shape, fashion, or form. At this price, I think it's just a bad buy. But finally, the thing that really kills me the most is how people are basically simping for Valve and really trying to justify the box at that price point. One thing that really kills me is how everybody is blowing the HDMI CEC completely out of proportion. You have posts like this person on Reddit where they say HDMI CEC is the main advantage of the Steam Machine. It doesn't matter about the specs or if you could build one better. Ask anyone with a living room PC, and the number one thing they don't have is HDMI CEC. No GPU or motherboard supports it, and it's what makes consoles so seamless. My living room PC is more powerful, but anytime I want to use it, I have to turn on my TV, change the input, tap enter on my keyboard, and step 4, turn on my controller. Now look, I'm not trying to be mean, but come on, really? You're gonna take a basic experience that pretty much everyone has whenever they walk in their living room to watch anything and try to stretch it out and make it sound worse than it actually is? How lazy do you have to be? I gotta turn on my TV. I gotta turn on my controller. Like, seriously? By the way, you don't have to hit enter on your keyboard. You can bypass that in Windows. Ask me how I know. I do it all the time. So if you're hitting enter on your keyboard, you definitely did not set it up properly. There's ways around that. A simple Google search will definitely fix that for you. So step 3 can go away completely. Look, I'm not saying HDMI CEC is not cool or convenient. It definitely is. But the main selling point of the box? Really? You want to pay $1,049 starting out just so you don't have to turn on your TV and then change the input? Like, seriously, dude? Like, come on, man. Do you see what I'm saying? People are really trying to find ways to justify the box in ways that just don't make sense. Now, look, at the end of the day, it's America. It's your money. blow your money however you want to blow it. But the thing that really bothers me here is that whenever you buy these machines and then you go online and you celebrate, I got picked by Valve, now I can go spend way too much money on a box that doesn't perform that well, all you're telling them is, hey, they'll buy it. It's okay. We can just keep releasing these mediocre products for extraordinary prices and we'll get away with it. You're telling every company that when you support it. And in closing, what I want to leave you with is if you do a simple search on YouTube, you will see there are tons and tons of videos where people have made their own Steam machines at their house. They basically do a PC build and put SteamOS on it. And yes, some people even do the small form factor option that I was talking about earlier, and then they start showing you the gaming performance, and you can see right off the bat that these machines are outperforming the Steam machine for a similar price. Similar meaning, yes, very close to the Steam machine price, but maybe just a little bit more depending on what parts they chose. And that's the beauty of PC gaming and PC building, is that you have the ability to choose. You can mix and match different parts and you can make it your own. Yes, the Valve Steam machine does have some gimmicks that I like. I love the form factor. I love the LED light bar, for example. The Steam controller does look awesome. With that being said though, at this price point, it's a hard pass for me. Like I said before, my recommendation is build your own box. There's tons of videos to show you what's possible and how you can do it, or buy a traditional console. Or if you really want the Steam machine, then hold out. Eventually, this thing is going to plummet in price, is what I believe. Eventually, they'll either discontinue it and you can buy it used on the secondhand market once people get tired of it, or if they don't discontinue it, eventually the price should come down if you wait long enough. Yeah, you might be waiting a very long time, but that is always an option. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the Steam machine. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Please do me a favor, hit the like button, and apparently I need to ask you to hype the video now, so if you don't mind, do that as well. Anyway, if you're new, get subscribed, and until next time, E-Rock out.